Good evening, Respring family. This is the April post-board meeting update. I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to share some highlights with you this month. I am so excited, obviously, for the passing of Vision 2025, our bond issuance. Tonight, the board certified those election results. Again, that was with a 75% approval rate. I really feel like that communicates the great work that's going on here and the trust that our community and stakeholders place in the school district to be able to have that kind of approval rate. I know in the region, and as far as I've heard, we're one of the highest approval rates in the entire state. And so thank you so much for your trust that you put into our school district and the love you put into our community and our children. We are anxiously engaged in good work. We're excited to be able to move forward with our strategic plan. We are working diligently on getting ready to prepare for construction that'll begin as soon as students are out of the building. This evening we had Brent Blevins from Stiefel Financials come and present some information to the board regarding parameters for our bond issuance. We are seeking bonds, getting to seek those dollars and get those bonds locked in and those rates locked in here in the coming month. We're aggressively going after that. As you know, the market's changing every single day, so we're going to try to lock in those rates as soon as possible and secure those and be able to move those, use those dollars to have them in the bank by June 6th. We'll have those dollars in the bank June 6th, June 7th, and able to begin our construction work that week. And so we appreciate the board's efforts and approval for that. We have a lot of wonderful things happening with our projects, and we're excited about the wonderful list of the blessings they are to our district. Blessing you are to our district and serving our kids. We nominated and went through the certification of our two newly elected board members and then restructured the board. And the board has experienced some change. Matt Greenwald, who's been serving as board president for the last 3 years, has stepped down as board president. He'll still retain a seat as a member of the Board of Education. However, Perry Phillips will now be our president for the board. So Perry will do a great job, and Matt has done a wonderful job. We appreciate Matt's service and look forward to continue working side by side with him, and look forward to Perry's leadership as he continues to move forward in that role. So we're excited about all that. Lisa Boyd was nominated as vice president. We appreciate Lisa. She's been on the board for the year, has jumped right in to learn as much as she can as a regarding board. She's been engaged in our strategic plan work, and she'll serve well in that role. Of course, Rochelle Meets continues to be our board secretary, and Gayla Schindenberger is our appointed board treasurer. Our MSBA legislative delegate, or delegate, is Amanda Rogers, who's just newly appointed to the board. We appreciate Amanda's willingness, and already she's been involved in a lot of meetings and learning a lot, so we appreciate her willing to do that. And the alternate is Perry Phillips. Again, the board passed approved parameters in a resolution to go after our bonds, so we discussed those this evening, allowing us to be able to secure those at the best interest rate possible. Let's see, get through closed session. We reviewed our strategic plan belief. Our belief is that we are committed to our community values. I think we see that here every single day. We have a staff that's centered on our community values as a whole. I think we try to stay aligned to the principles within our community and serve our patrons to the best of our ability and our parents. Being one of those parents, I appreciate being in a district that honors the community and the needs of the community and the desires. I just want to kind of pause and express appreciation to our entire staff for the incident that occurred here on campus on Thursday with the lockdown and the potential threat. I in that moment probably never felt such an emotion. Obviously, when you have the lives of so many children in your hands, you feel very a high level of sense of responsibility. Like all things that I've experienced in this community, we had so many people step up and really fill in. I'll give a shout out to Jill and Cheyenne in our office. The way they managed calls and parents and concerns and just kept a calm presence and really navigated that day really made it a tremendous success. Our administrative team, I appreciate all their work, and our teaching staff and all of our support staff. We had custodians, and just all hands were on deck. People were running around from every department trying to secure and trying to identify the exact location of the incident and to identify the individual involved. So just appreciate all of them. I appreciate our SROs, Officer Hayes and Officer Fields for their work and the way they approach their work and their concern and passion for serving our students and keeping them safe. I'm grateful for our local law enforcement who came and responded immediately to support. Obviously, we don't want to have to repeat that again. We learned some things from that will even refine our practices and improve our ways in the future. So we've done a lot of debriefing and processing through that. I'm grateful for our counseling staff, for Burl, who's come in, and for all those that have supported our children and staff as they've experienced that event. And we're excited to move on and get beyond. So I just want everybody to know how much I appreciate their efforts, and we continue to make safety and security our hottest priority. And I feel like that night, if you were here on campus that day, you would have seen high-level work and securing and ensuring that we are able to have a safe place for our kids. All right, so as far as the board continues to go to a couple work that we've done tonight, on May 12th, we have a high school graduation at the Mansion Theater at 7 p.m. Our next board meeting is on May 25th at 5:30 p.m. And then we are having summer school. You should see summer school links that have been sent out, so please, we encourage you to enroll your child in summer school. We love having kids here on campus. Give an update to the board regarding the administrator's report and the communication report. Great things are happening, a lot of engagement in both of those buildings, and a lot of work. We appreciate all that. My report just gave a brief update on our enrollment. Nothing much has changed there, pretty stable. And then we just informed the board that in regards to COVID, Governor Parsons announced an end to the COVID crisis in Missouri. Obviously COVID's still around, we understand that, but in regards to some of the processes and regulations and restrictions that were in place as a result of his mandates. So we're continuing to implement our safe to return plan. We're not changing the way we're operating at this point, and we'll revisit that this summer. I updated the board again on a bond issue. We are beginning work. We'll be putting things out to bid for our primary school project here in the coming week, with final bid approval later or early in May, so that we have all operations ready to roll, so that we can get the project going the first week of June. As soon as students are out, we'll be working heavy on the primary school project. So we're excited about that and getting that work done. Also let them know that we are going to be partnering with a program called Unlimited Play. Unlimited Play is an organization that's founding members, a gal named Natalie Mackey. She is a family friend and someone who created the vision. If you saw my presentation, she's the one who began Zachary's Playground. Zachary was her son who recently passed. Natalie has an expertise in this area. She runs this organization that's a nonprofit organization that has done playgrounds throughout the entire country. So we're going to partner with them in working managing our playground projects and all of our playgrounds, as well as a playground in the park area. And so we're excited about her expertise at a really minimal cost to be able to have them come in for it's going to end up saving us a ton of money in design fees with architects, to be able to partner with her and use her expertise to create the most inclusive, enjoyable playgrounds for all of our children. So we're excited about that and getting that ball rolling. I think that's it for now. Well, I guess the other thing is continue to work on the Career Center designing. Right now, we have blueprints ready. We're ready for implementation of the primary school. We are fine-tuning everything at the Career Center so that it's all ready to roll, and we're ready at that phase of building. So be patient with this. We wish we could get it all done fast, but we're going to do this the right way and look forward to those projects coming. We continue to move forward with our policy implementation as we transition from our current policies to new policies. We're hopeful that in May we're able to adopt new board policies. You'll see that when you see those policies, there's a lot fewer policies because we're only including policies that are required by state statute in the policy manual. Everything else that's in that manual that's not policy that we are capturing will be done in handbooks or student handbooks or board manuals. We'll be removing a lot of things that aren't required as well to keep local. We want to be able to have a lot of say in how we educate our kids and only do those things that are required by state law. Certainly there are things that we have to do, but that work's going really well. We just want to give a shout out to our Excellence Award Banquet. We had our first annual ever awards banquet at the Chateau on the Lake. So appreciative of the committee who worked on that. We had so many individuals involved in making that event. I feel like it was as perfect as I could imagine. As I thought about what that event would look like and dreamed about that, they hit the mark on every single note. We are so appreciative of their work. We're so grateful that we could honor Teresa Doms at the primary as our Employee of the Year. She's a remarkable lady who does so much for our school district and served us so well, served our kids so well. We're so glad that she's still with us and next year. And then Mr. Wilson, Nick Wilson at the elementary school, our special services teacher. He is just a guy that's so centered on his heart. I've heard his story. He shared with me his purpose of why he's an educator, and you couldn't ask for a better recipient. So great individuals. We appreciate them and all that they've done. Pack Night continues to be a huge success. Our community raised over $45,000 in just the Pack Night event. I think we're at $75,000 total dollars available for scholarships this year. So we're excited to see who are those award winners, and I know they start those interviews next week. We appreciate the foundation and all that they've done this year to push that event. Dr. Kite provided an update on MSIP 6. MSIP 6 is a way that the Department of Education monitors and accredits and kind of evaluates the progress of school districts. While that's still kind of a moving target, they still haven't quite figured out what that's like. We know that's coming, and so we should have MSIP 6 ready to go. It's going to include 70% of it will include performance data on academics, and 30% will be based off a continuous improvement model that will include feedback from our patrons, our students, and other measures on how we're progressing in our leadership and how we're progressing overall. Fortunately, our strategic plan is a continuous improvement model, so it addresses many of the items in MSIP 6. We briefly discussed Policy 4310. This is our unused paid leave policy. Wanted the board to be aware that we're kind of considering some different options for that while we haven't made a decision. The HR committee has determined that as we move forward that we really don't need to address incentivizing classified staff that are leaving the district. The incentive for those employees that are certified has been put in place because they are under contract and there's a very tight window for hiring, whereas classified employees are at-will employees, and so there's a lot more flexibility for them and for us to leave, and the committee felt like there really wasn't any rationale to include an incentive for that. But we will be looking at the unused paid leave policy on the amount of dollars that are reimbursed. However, it won't be anything that we implement for this year. Any recommendations will be implemented for next year. Lots of staff and students and great things happening that were recognized, so we appreciate all those great things. We will be moved forward. The board accepted our recommendation to move forward with implementing a reset room at the middle school, similar to like what we've done in the other buildings at the lower levels. It may look a little bit different, but we will have, they've given us the latitude to be able to have that position be a certified employee or a classified employee based off of our staffing needs. And so we'll be providing additional support for students at that critical age of middle school where so many different things can happen. To have another adult supporting teachers and students that will be there will be phenomenal. They also approved an extra duty stipend. This is a stipend for early childhood to assign to an individual who's already on that staff, who's monitoring our Monday. She's already involved in our Monday child care work. We're going to provide an additional stipend for her to cover summer school activity, summertime early childhood care. This is something that was already done with a certified employee previously, so we're really just reallocating money to a different place, so not really costing the district any additional money. As we've looked at this year, one of our goals in the strategic plan is to ensure that our employees are well compensated. Part of that is a benefit to us to recruit and retain, to get the best employees working with our children, and so the board has been very supportive of our plan to raise those compensation rates so that we can do that. Insurance rates have gone up this year. Our health and medical insurance has gone up about 6%, and so the board has agreed to accept my recommendation for us to absorb that and not take that on to our employees. So we'll be raising the amount of payment that our employees receive from $438 to $525. That will cover that increase in insurance. The other thing that will happen is we're adding 2 additional plans to our medical plans. One of them is a deductible plan, a high deductible $6,000 deductible plan, but it's an HSA plan, so it's got a much lower premium, which means you'll be able to put a lot more money into your HSA just from the district standpoint. We feel like a lot of employees will take advantage of that plan. So we want employees, if you're listening to this, please tune into those plans. I know Gayla will be sending those out to you so that you're aware of those. But the board accepted that. That's going to come to the tune of about $100,000 to absorb that a year. Additionally, the board has approved my recommendation for about a 2.8% increase in addition to what we've done for health insurance across the board. That will raise our teacher base salary from $37,800 to 38.2. There's a lot of movement across the state to raise salaries for every teacher in the state to $38,000 as a minimum. That's going to, honestly, small districts are not going to be able to do that without having to consolidate. It will destroy some small school districts. Fortunately for us, it won't be a big change because we're already there. So we approved that to go to 38.2. We continue to be one of the most competitive in the region in regards to our steps. We know we need to continue to look at that base and get that up. But where you look at our entire employee package, the way we honor employees with paid leave, you can wear jeans. I mean, there's so many things we do. The 4-day school week and then have a compensation well that's just really structured well. I'm pleased to say that most of our hires, it seems like almost all of them this year, we've been able to capture really good employees from other surrounding school districts. I know they may not love that, but we do. That has been our focus, and we've been able to get into the game, so to speak. And so we appreciate the passing of the levy last year, and we've been able to implement that. There is a revised school calendar. As you know, we had the water issue this last week, and so the revised schools calendar will be on our website. It'll be posted through social media. If you have any questions, please contact your buildings on the Make updates, or just tap into our social media or see our website for updated calendar. And then our special board meeting, we've slotted a time to have a brief board meeting on April 27th in the morning. So at 7:30, just a brief meeting to slot, and an agenda will be posted, so you'll see what that information is. That's our night. That was our day. I'm so grateful for our Board of Education. I'm so grateful for our students, and I'm so blessed to work with such amazing colleagues. And I'm so blessed to be in this community. Thank you for all that you do for our students, the support that you give. It never has it been more challenging to be a student. Never has it been more challenging to be someone working in schools. Your support and love is so appreciated. Thank you for all you do, and go Wolves.